Hey, what's up guys? This is Ty with Mindful Moto. Going to be selling my Wr250r here. It's a 2017. So I just wanted to kind of show you around my bike, some of the mods that have been done, and yeah, what I'd recommend. So this is the bike. It's been an awesome motorcycle. Looking to potentially do a little more two-up riding. So it's not the best at that, obviously, for being a dual sport and everything. So yeah, I guess start with the exhaust. It's got full big gun exhaust. It's got the header pipe. I believe when you buy it, it comes as a package. The big gun exhaust is really loud. When I got the bike, it didn't have a baffle in anything, and it was just obnoxious. So I ended up ordering the quiet insert. I believe there's two of them, and this is the, I don't know, the quietest of the two. So it's still loud, but it's not too terrible. And yeah, so it's a good exhaust. I'm not sure, I didn't ride with the stock exhaust. I don't think it makes that much more horsepower overall over the stock, but you get that nice sound. I think from what I read online, people are getting like an extra horsepower or two from adding that, so not a huge upgrade. Yamaha did a good job from the factory getting a lot of power out of the stock exhaust. So yeah, that's I want to say it's like $400 or $500 to get the full big gun exhaust. If it were me doing it over again, I would go for, you know, something a little better. If you can find an FMF exhaust, that's probably perfect. It's got I want to say these are DRC foot pegs. So add a little bit of wider profile. Stock pegs are normally pretty crappy off-road and narrow, so that's definitely like I'd say a must-do upgrade. Got the Zeta frame guards on here. You know, just protect the frame from scratches and I guess dirt and stuff like that. So that's definitely kind of a nice upgrade. We've got the fender eliminator here, and it's from TST Industries. I'll start the bike later and you can kind of check that out. And then I have the foldable license plate holder, so that's pretty sweet. Off-road, being able to tuck that up under there. Right now I have a 14 tooth in the front, and then we got a 49 in the rear, and that's a great middle of the road, I'd say, for good kind of cruising speed, along with you know, good response for off-road. So definitely recommend that. So getting into the cockpit here, I do have the stock gas tank on there, and I would say that's one of the biggest downfalls to this bike, is just the, you know, the short range. People were saying they're getting 60-70 miles per gallon with the stock exhaust, and with the EJK jet kit, the guy I bought it from, I think he jetted it pretty rich, so I'm only getting like 40-45 miles per gallon. So not great, but it's a lot of fun. The power band is kind of like a two-stroke. It's kind of makes its power, I'd say, on the higher RPM range, and it pulls. It's super fun. I had a KLX 300 Supermoto, as well as a 2013 Honda CRF 250L, and this is by far my favorite. The suspension's far superior to the Honda. The Kawasaki had pretty good suspension, but I'd say this is even better. It is the stock suspension. I didn't do anything to it, but just kind of great stuff out of the box. And this bike makes about 28 horsepower, whereas the KLX 300 and the CRF 250L, I want to say they're around 24. And I'm not sure about the Honda 300L, what that makes, but this is probably pretty comparable to that. So going up to the bars here, I have these Tusk, they're the D-Flex Pro. They have a good surface area here, so they do a good job of kind of protecting your hands, especially in cold weather riding. So those have been good. These are some Power Mad mirrors I got on Amazon. I want to say they're like 20 bucks or something like that. I did have the stock ones on for a while, but riding off-road, they kind of become loose, and then they're wiggling around, and it's just kind of a pain. So I threw these on there, and then kind of fold out of the way a little bit. You know, if you're riding off-road or something like that and you got real tough tight single track. But they really don't provide a lot of field of view when you're riding on road, so something to be aware of. Got these black, I want to say this is an Amazon purchase too. They're not like ASV levers or anything, but they do the job. Foldable levers with the brake as well. So they're nice. They're kind of more squared. The stock ones are more round, so I like the feel of these. I got this mounted to the battery, so I've got like some nice 2 USB outlets here so I can charge my phone and everything when I'm riding. So that's definitely nice. And I got the quad lock on there. Highly recommend that. They're kind of expensive, but if you've got an iPhone or anything, you know, you got the rubber dampeners in there so you don't ruin your camera. I've got just some LED blinkers up here. These are some cheap ones, and it looks like this one's starting to kind of go out a little bit. I'll show you that when I start it. I do have a aftermarket LED light in there too. I think it was like 20 bucks, but it's, you know, a lot better than the stock one. So bars, these are CR High Pro Taper bars. I definitely recommend if you're a bigger rider, I'm 6 foot, is going with something like maybe like the YZ bend. So I think it's the Chad Reed. They kind of bring the sweep up a little bit, so the cockpit is kind of a little bit bigger. These are fine, but I find that it cramps the riding position just a little bit. I definitely, you know, they work just fine, but if I could do it over again, I'd throw those on there. I got Oxford heated grips. These things are phenomenal. Definitely heat up your hands a lot for this cold weather riding, or just anytime you do night riding. It's just so nice to be able to throw on the heated grips and keep your hands warm. You're able to ride just like that much longer. So that's good. So we'll get it started up here. The dash is pretty simple. You got your mile per hour clock and your trip. So pretty simple. Not a lot to it. But it's kind of all you need, I guess, for something like this. So I forgot to mention the rear fender rack here. So this has been a nice upgrade. Obviously, have something there when you're packing the luggage and stuff. Also got a nice skid plate on there. So doing any dual sport riding, always good to have something to protect the undercarriage and the frame. So definitely a needed mod if you're going to do some off-road riding. That LED is kind of fading out. I just noticed that earlier. Have to get that fixed, but the light's quite a bit brighter than the stock one. And then I'll show you the TSD Industries fender eliminator. That's pretty sweet. Just gets all the blinkers and all the other stuff they kind of add on. Cleans it up. Yeah, great bike. If you're in the market for a dual sport, I think this is still probably the best one out there. I've never ridden 300L Honda, but I definitely feel like this one is probably the best you can buy right now still. So if you can find a clean one, highly recommend a Wr250r.